What's going on, you gamers? Today we're going to be going over the classes for Elden Ring and hopefully give you a little bit of insight into what each class brings to the table and help you pick the one that's right for you. So if you want to know what class is best suited for yourself at the start, then stay tuned, that's coming up next. Welcome back all you guys and girls, as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. I'll bring you all the latest and greatest gaming content and some fun hints, tips, builds and gameplay. But for today we're going to be going over the 10 classes at launch for Elden Ring and hopefully help you to decide which starter class is right for you. Some classes will definitely edge towards their own kind of unique playstyle, so knowing what they're all about will definitely help you out at the start choosing which one you should pick. So kicking it off, and we have the Vagabond. I'm starting the list with what I believe will be one of the best starter classes for a lot of the players, perfect for anyone learning the ropes or veterans. The Vagabond starts out at level 9 and has some nice high stats about himself in a lot of its attributes, the main standout ones being Vigour and Strength. With the highest base Vigour of all classes and the second highest Strength stat, Vagabond will be a force to be reckoned with, and if close combat melee with some big old weapons and being able to wear the heavier side of equipment in order to minimise your damage and have a nice high health pool is your type of thing, then this class is perfect for you. Also, due to its stats being 13 and 14 in both dexterity and strength, it allows for some easy progression, great for players that are unsure which weapons they want to equip early on. If however you're looking to excel at magic, this will not be the character for you, it will probably be one of the other classes. Next up, and we'll be jumping into the warrior class. Starting out at level 8 and dual wielding a scimitar, the warrior is a dexterity based class through and through. If you know dexterity is the way forward for you, then there's no better starting character. And with all its other stats being quite even across the board, it's quite a well-rounded class as well. So if you like the faster side of combat, then dexterity builds are usually the way to go, as you slash enemies to pieces in a flurry of blows, probably leaning a little more towards curved weapons such as its starting scimitar or even daggers. Warrior is the perfect class for those favouring agility over tankiness. Next up is the hero class. Starting off at level 7, the hero class is the complete flip side to the warrior. The hero in fact is an absolute brute, boasting the highest strength of any class at 16 and also high endurance at 12. You'll also have the endurance to pull off quite a few swings before you tire out. So if wielding big weapons like two-handers and such and having the endurance without being tired out straight away is your thing, then the hero class may well be a great option for you. However, with the lowest starting mind stat of all the classes at just 9, this class is far from the best with any spells. If however you know that you'll definitely be focusing on a pure strength build, whether it be sword and shield or a big old two-hander to do some massive single hit damage, then the hero class will excel at close range combat and huge powerful weapon attacks. So next up, and we're going to be taking a look at the Prophet. Moving our focus away from the melee damage side of the first 3 classes we've looked at, this time the Prophet class will be taking advantage of its magical attributes and using those in order to take down its foes. Now starting out at level 7 and with a massive 16 in faith, it is going to be the single best class for casting incantations, and will also excel at healing more than any other class. So if you're looking for a class that's going to be great at range and able to heal itself, and have some nice damage thrown in the mix, then this class definitely has you covered, and most times it will be a choice between whether you prefer the spells that you can wield with faith, in which you'll definitely want to pick the Prophet, or with a class that's slightly more aligned to sorcery, governed by intelligence. So speaking of intelligence, if you're after out and out spellcasting and long range damage, then the Astrologer class is the class for you. Starting out at level 6 and boasting a huge 16 intelligence, the highest of any class, as well as 15 in mind, again the highest of any starter class, this class fully excels at spellcasting and has the FP to back it up. For anyone who's new to Dark Souls games, imagine FP as a kind of mana reserve that can run out or diminish, so the higher your FP means you can cast more spells before you have to find a way to replenish it. Very important in any spellcaster class. The trade-off for this class is having such high mind and intelligence is that Vigour and Strength are at 9 and 8 respectively, so the class itself will start with very low health and will definitely not shine at close quarter combat compared to some of the other classes. Up next, and we have the Samurai class. Starting at level 9 and boasting the highest endurance, this class will be a great choice for anyone who loves to be able to equip heavier gear pieces early on. Also with high dexterity at 15 and decent vigour at 12, it's a pretty well rounded class for those that prefer that in your face combat. It also has 12 in strength, meaning that if you're not sure what to equip, you can kind of go either way, strength or dexterity. If you enjoy katana play, I'd imagine this is probably going to be the class for you, but it does also start off with a bow, so that if needed you can resort to some long range attacks if you deem the situation needs it. Now moving over to the Confessor class, and this one is really quite versatile. It starts at level 10 and boasts the highest combined starter stats of all the classes. It's very well rounded with high mind and faith, but doesn't have the highest or lowest in any attribute, which can mean it can quite easily adapt to whatever playstyle you determine. Now this class is perfect if you want to use a little bit of melee and as well have a bit of spellcasting, and due to its high faith, we'll be able to rely on incantations, very much so like the Prophet, although it won't be quite as adept at it at the very start. So going over to another kind of hybrid class, or at least one that can mix it up a bit, and that's the Prisoner. This class is again a great starter class for those that don't really want to be tied down to just one playstyle. Starting out at level 9 and boasting high dexterity and intelligence of 14 each, but with the trade-off being it has the lowest faith of any class at just 6, the Prisoner is another class that is similar in style to the Confessor. This time however you'll be focusing more along the lines of the intelligence side of things, in order to take advantage of your spell power and high dexterity. This is actually a truly powerful combo, as not only will it allow for some nice dexterity weapons to be equipped and some nice spell power to be cast, dexterity also has the added bonus of increasing your spellcasting speed, so hand in hand they work together to make this quite a powerful duo. And even though at the very start you probably won't notice it too much, as you go up in your dexterity, this can in fact come in quite clutch on those boss fights or encounters when every second counts. From a Prisoner over to a Bandit. Starting at level 5 and with its highest attribute being that of Arcane, the Bandit class I would say is probably sitting on the tougher side of the starting classes. It doesn't really excel at anything, and although it has dexterity of 13, so we'll be able to equip some nice dex weapons early on, such as daggers, and will have a bow for a bit of range, it also has low vigour and endurance, making it a little bit on the squishy side and a little bit of a tougher class to play starting off. The Bandit class could work out great for someone who loves their rogue class and is adept at these type of games or has played Dark Souls before, but for newer players I'd probably suggest that they try another class, as this one definitely won't be the easiest to kick the game off with, meaning they could be in for a little bit of a tough time. Now finally, and we're going over to the Wretch. Now if you're after the true RPG experience of starting out with almost bare bones at level 1 and hardly anything to your name, scavenging your way to greatness, then the Wretch is the class for you. Wretch is a bit of an oddball class that most will scroll straight past because it neither excels nor underperforms at any of its single stats. In fact, at all 10s in every single stat, it is the most well rounded of any starter class. And whilst this means that although you will feel a little bit underpowered from the offset, you will actually have probably the most freedom in terms of what you want to chuck your attributes into, or what kind of class or playstyle you actually deem to play. It's very much like having a clean sheet, as you have no defining features on what path to take, meaning you can play this character in any way you want. I would however say that it's probably not aimed towards the beginner or someone new to the Dark Souls franchise, and is instead probably aimed towards those that want a greater challenge and to test their resolve. Only recommended for those with a really strong stomach and with probably better reflexes than myself. Right you gamers, hopefully that's helped a few of you out and you've decided which one's jumping out at you. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to choose. Lots more Elden Ring content on the way, but as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox. Take care, I'll see you on next day.